When I went to IFA, the technology exhibition in Berlin a few weeks ago, one of the things I was really keen to look at were robot lawnmowers. My dad was actually an early adopter of robot lawnmowers. He's owned his for about 10 years, but his was expensive to buy. It's very bulky and he had to lay a cable in the ground for it to follow a route around the garden. The latest generation of robot lawnmowers are completely different. They're much more affordable to buy and they're drop and go models, which means you can take them out of the box and have them cutting your grass within 30 minutes. This particular model, which I'm going to be doing the video on today, has some incredible technology in it. It uses AI vision to map your garden as it cuts the grass and learns where the boundaries and obstacles are in your particular garden. This is the Terramow V600. It's just been launched in the UK and the manufacturers have sent me this model to make the video today. I'm going to show you what it's like to set up and what it's like to use in your garden for the first week, including the not so perfect bits. The first job when your mower arrives is to assemble the garage and decide where you want to place it in your garden. It's worth spending a little bit of time thinking about where you want to put it, because if you move it later on, you're going to have to reset its location in the app. The garage comes in two parts and needs to be placed on a level surface with at least ½ metre clearance to the left and right and 1.8 metre clearance behind it. In the accessory box are 4 garage screws which you use to attach the top of the garage to the base, and there are some ground pegs which you use to anchor it to the ground. I placed ours at one end of the garden up against a wall, sitting partly on lawn and partly on gravel. This mower comes with quite a good length of cable, which allows you some flexibility on where you place the garage in relation to the power socket. And the plug on the end of the cable is pretty compact, which means it's easy to fit through small gaps and behind pipework when you're setting it up. My mower arrived half charged, so I could have started cutting the grass immediately, but you'll probably want to ensure it's fully charged before you first use it, especially as it only takes 2 hours to charge completely. To put it on charge, you just need to connect the charging prongs on the base with the sockets on the front of the mower by sliding the mower into the garage. This model of mower is aimed at compact and medium-sized lawns up to 600 square metres or 0.15 acres. The lawn I tested this model out on is bigger than the recommended size, but all that means is that it took slightly longer to cut and needed to return to the base for several charges so that it could cover the whole area. So once our mower was fully charged, we let it loose on the garden to begin mapping and cutting. To do this, just press the start button and then the OK, and the mower will use its AI vision to start working out where the boundaries and the obstacles are. It can tell when the lawn ends and there's a change in surface, and it will automatically turn round at the lawn edge. But if you want to tell it to cross non-grassed areas like paths or manhole covers to reach more areas of grass, you can create pathways in the app that tell it to drive over the top of things like that. Because a robot mower will cut more frequently than a human, you don't need to collect or dispose of your grass cuttings because they're so small. Instead, they just break down into the soil and return the nutrients to the grass. And this method of mulching the grass cuttings into the lawn is very good for the health of your lawn. This mower's got a cutting width of 8 inches and it does create stripes on the lawn just about, but they aren't quite as good as a regular lawnmower does. When the battery gets low on the mower, which is generally after about 2 hours of use, it will automatically return to the base to charge, and then when fully charged, it will motor back to the same spot it left, and when it reaches it, it will resume cutting. There were a few places in the garden where it ran into obstacles and got stuck the first time it went out, mainly holes in the ground. But these spots are then shown on the map in the app as hazards, and you can create an exclusion area around them so that the mower avoids them the next time that it goes out to cut. There are, of course, some hazards that it can't avoid. It's not great with leaves. It does tend to cut them up into small pieces. So you really need to clear the leaves before it cuts. But of course, that's only going to be a problem at certain times of the year. The bigger problem, and I'm sorry to non-pet owners, is that we are briefly going to have to talk about dog poo. This lawnmower won't see dog poo as an obstacle it has to avoid, and so it will just run over it if you haven't picked it up first. This isn't disastrous, it's just a little bit messy. The good thing is it's pretty easy to clean up the lawnmower if this happens, because the mower is IPX6 certified, which basically means it's been tested to withstand a high volume and pressure of water jets. Although the manufacturers tell you not to use a pressure washer to clean it, you can absolutely use a garden hose to wash it down, which will quickly clean it up if there are any messy collisions. As well as being able to withstand a quick wash with a hose, this mower also has a rain sensor on it. So if there's a sudden downpour, or in our case, a soaking with a hose, it will automatically stop mowing and head for home. You can choose in the app whether it automatically resumes cutting once the rain sensor has dried, or whether it just waits to go out when the next cut is. There are actually loads of settings that you can customise in the app to suit all your individual preferences, and I'll talk about those in a moment. But before we move on to that, if you're new here, my name is Clara and I make weekly videos about home tech and appliances. If you'd like to see more of those, please hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, links to all of my accounts are in the description below. So back to the app. First of all, if the idea of the app does seem daunting, please don't be put off. The instructions for this model are great, and you can, if you want, more or less ignore the app and just control the lawnmower from the buttons on the top, at least until you have more time and an inclination to sit down and familiarise yourself with the settings. In the app, you can set a schedule of when you'd like your mower to be cut, and you can also divide the garden into different zones, so it cuts different zones on different days. You can access the live camera to see exactly where your lawnmower is, choose the direction the mower cuts in, the speed, height of cutting, and the speed the blades rotate. Now, talking of blades, there are 3 of them on this model and they will need to be replaced every 1 to 2 months, but they aren't horrendously expensive. A nice security feature of this model is that it also comes with a SIM card in the base, which you can activate or, if you wish, replace with your own SIM card. Then, if the mower is stolen, it will send a message to the app once it's turned on in a new location and tell you where it is. And it also has a child lock, just in case you have young children who fancy playing with it. So all in all, I've been really impressed with this model. As I said at the start, the advancement in technology with these new robo lawnmowers is amazing. But I've got to be honest, it has totally ruined my dad's week, discovering that I've got a more intelligent mower than him.
Right before it's buy some new mowers. Oh.